Hello, and welcome to this week's show. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm your host, Trey Winowitz, and you're watching Right on the Money. Our goal for the show is to always equip you, the viewer, with accurate financial information so that you can make educated decisions for both you and your family. We've got a great show lined up for you today, so thanks for watching. We're going to be tackling some difficult financial questions, and we want to take some things that could be somewhat complicated and make them simple and easy to understand. So come on in and have some fun with us.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, Trey Winowitz was forced to move himself and his family over 600 miles north and begin his financial planning practice again, from scratch. Since then, Winowitz Financial has become a national success story, establishing itself as a trusted source for financial advice in and around East Tennessee. In return, Trey gives back to the community by sponsoring monthly educational workshops and annual charity events. He also hosts a weekly radio show informing and entertaining those in need of financial advice. So, if you'd like to understand more about today's challenging financial environment, if you'd like to overcome your current financial situation, and want to learn from someone with a track record of overcoming, stay tuned for some trusted financial advice that's right on the money.
Now let's get to our main topic, financial pitfalls of the rich and famous. I bet you've heard of someone recently, maybe it's a movie star, your favorite singer, or a professional athlete who had some major financial troubles. I bet if you thought for a second, you could list a couple of famous people you've heard about. Why is that, you think? On the surface, it would seem that celebrities have very little to worry about in the finance department. After all, they command massive paychecks and they can tap into endorsement deals on the side. So why do many of them run into major money problems? A few who come to mind are these. Britney Spears, Aretha Franklin, and Nicolas Cage have all made headlines recently with some of their financial disasters. So on today's show, we'll talk about this, celebrities that you know and their financial mistakes, common causes of celebrity financial troubles, and how you as an investor can avoid these pitfalls. Now, I'm using an article today from the U.S. News and World Report as a resource. It's in their personal finance section, and it talks about why some celebrities run into financial troubles. If you'd like a copy of the article, give me a call at the office and I'd be glad to send it to you. It says here that celebrities often face extra hurdles despite, and in some cases because of, their very big paychecks. Not only do they have luxurious lifestyles to maintain, but friends and family frequently rely on them for cash. Their income is often unpredictable, and cash flow can peter out, especially once they've passed their prime. In fact, it can be the celebrity's lifestyle itself that trips up superstars. Travis Henry, for instance, a former pro football running back, has fathered 11 different children by 10 different women and pays an estimated $170,000 a year in child support. He's also been convicted recently of cocaine trafficking and a 3-year prison sentence started in 2009. Olympic swimming sensation Michael Phelps lost one of his biggest endorsement deals with Kellogg's after photos of him with a marijuana pipe emerged. Famous photographer Annie Leibovitz faced over $24 million in debt from a mix of outstanding rental equipment fees, an uncompleted book deal, and renovation payments. Then Michael Jackson died with about $323 million in debt, largely related to his Neverland Ranch. Even Thomas Jefferson suffered from the celebrity debt connection. Our third president died so deeply in debt that his family was forced to sell his estate, Monticello. Well, we've got to take a break now, but I hope you can stay with us. We're going to have a great show. Stay tuned for more advice that's right on the money.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Trey Winowitz and you're watching Right on the Money. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the financial pitfalls of celebrities. Let's consult the article that we began with from the U.S. News & World Report. Here are 5 of the most common causes of celebrity financial trouble. Number 1 is the tax man. Now, Wesley...
Taxman. Big TV star.
Now, Wesley Snipes, who will soon be released from a 3-year prison sentence for failing to pay $17 million in IRS penalties, taxes, and interest, might be the most famous celebrity to fail to pay Uncle Sam, but he's not the only one. Actress Marlee Matlin, who once played Jerry Seinfeld's girlfriend on Seinfeld, also acknowledged owing back taxes, a situation that she attributes to an unpredictable income fluctuation. Another article from a major financial firm tells clients to be guided by 3 F's: fun, feds as in taxes, and the future. While it's okay to splurge a little bit when a chunk of income comes in, remember that you could be spending more than 40% of it on income taxes. And because income might decline in the future, setting money aside for drier times is essential. This advice applies not just to celebrities, but everyone whose income dips and dives, including people who work in sales, freelance, or consulting. Number 2, moochers. A lawyer to several NBA and NFL players says his clients are often asked by friends for money. They call in their chips, he says. There are all sorts of distant relatives who really have sad luck stories. Having a financial advisor can help because a celebrity can say, "I'd like to give you the money, but I've been talking with this advisor and he'd really kill me if I did that." Number 3 is temptation. Celebrity lifestyles often come with private jets, designer clothes, and even some jewelry to match.
You like her to watch?
No. After all, Kim Kardashian received a $2 million engagement ring. Nicolas Cage has owned as many as 15 homes at once, along with 9 Rolls Royces. The most common mistake that celebrities, and especially professional athletes, make is ridiculously high spending in their newfound financial success. Celebrities often expect their high earnings to continue, but in reality, they often have short careers marked by bursts of high income. That means they need to spend much more modestly than their paycheck would allow in order to make that money last. Now we're coming up on a short break. On the other side, we'll finish up with the last 2 common mistakes that celebrities make, and then we'll talk about things that you can do to avoid them. Stay tuned for more trusted advice that's right on the money.
Are you looking to recruit and retain great employees? Would you like to reduce your retirement plan cost? Now you can offer employees the opportunity to keep their retirement funds protected and growing. Separate yourself from your competition. Make a difference in the retirement of your employees with little to no additional cost to you and no change to your TPA, payroll, or existing 401k company. Call Winowitz Financial today to find out more about this exciting new product.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Trey Winowitz and you're watching Right on the Money. If you're just tuning in, we're talking today about financial pitfalls of celebrities and how you as an investor can avoid them. Number 4 is real estate mistakes. Now, Dustin Diamond, aka Screech from Saved by the Bell, Evander Holyfield, and Aretha Franklin are among those who have faced housing-related money problems. Part of the problem is that when income is so unpredictable, celebrities can make the mistake of purchasing a home far greater than they can afford. This is one reason financial advisors to the stars often recommend buying homes with cash only to prevent foreclosure down the road. Number 5 is dried up income. Optimism has no place in the plans for the future, at least when it comes to your finances, because, famous or not, we need to be prepared for the worst case scenario like disability or a sudden loss of income. Celebrities should estimate the expected duration of their career in life and then predict income levels during the working and non-working periods. Next, they should calculate the average income during the entire span and live off of that amount. The rest should be saved. So let's end our show today by going back over these pitfalls together, as well as some steps that you can take to avoid them. Number 1, taxes. You've got to remember to pay them. You're not doing yourself or anyone else a favor by neglecting to do this. Here's a tip. We've got a great group of CPAs that work for us and help our clients out every year with their tax returns. If you have something that happens out of the ordinary, give me a call and we can get a question answered from a qualified tax professional, and it won't cost you anything. Number 2 is moochers. Be discerning when you hear sob stories from friends and family members. Will they be wise with the money you loan them? Do you have a firm commitment from them as well as some sort of payment plan set up for how they're going to pay you back? Here's a tip. Learn how to say no. Number 3 is temptation. Don't buy too much, especially when you're first successful. Remember to budget your money carefully and only spend what you make. Live within your means. There's no need for extravagance. Here's a tip. Set your budget with saving and investing as a line. The goal should be 15% of your gross monthly income. Number 4, real estate. Don't buy more than you can afford to pay for, especially if you have an unpredictable income. Now here's a tip. A good rule of thumb is not to have a mortgage payment equal to any more than 25% of your monthly take-home pay. Number 5 is dried up income. Don't be unrealistically optimistic about your future. The income you're making today may not necessarily be the same income in years to come. You need to reserve some cash for an emergency fund. Here's a tip. 6 to 9 months of your monthly income is what most experts recommend. So now you know about the common struggles that celebrities and even regular folks face when it comes to finding financial success. But more importantly, you've got some tips to help steer clear of these pitfalls. If you've got any questions on the things that we've covered today, give me a call at the office and I'd be glad to work with you. We'll help try to find the answers that are best just for you. Coming up after the break, we'll learn how people just like you have benefited from a no-cost second opinion. Don't miss our Money Matters segment. I'll see you in just a second.
Executive Lending Group is a local independently owned mortgage company committed to providing you with high-quality financial services, as well as the lowest rates available in today's market. Chris Holgroff is a mortgage professional who will work with you one-on-one to ensure your mortgage is tailored to meet your specific financial needs. His 12 years of experience in the industry will help you find the right loan program at the lowest rate.
Call me anytime at 865-257-7777. We look forward to working with you.
Now that we're back, I'd like to tell you about some real-life folks that you can relate to, because it never hurts to have an extra pair of objective eyes take a look at your situation and see what can be improved. But sometimes not getting a second opinion can be very costly to your family. Even if the strategies you're using can't be improved on, people say it's a huge comfort when I tell them that what they're doing is working well for them and they should continue with that plan. However, in some cases they discover that products or strategies that they thought worked a certain way actually don't work that way. So what I want to do is take a second to introduce you to a few people who came in my office recently for that no obligation second opinion, just to be sure. And these folks are glad that they did. If you'd like to be a part of this Money Matters segment, please give us a call at the office and schedule a complimentary review. Now let's take a look at this week's case. Jana, can you bring me my notes? Sure. Thanks. Today's case study comes from Maryville, Tennessee. 47-year-old husband worked at the DOE, and 44-year-old wife, stay-at-home mom. They have 2 kids in college. Both of these folks called in for a meeting after listening to our radio show and have watched a couple of the television shows just like yourself as well. Main concerns. When they came in, they were wondering if they really needed a will. They also had money from an inheritance that they weren't really sure what to do with. It had been sitting in the bank for a little while. And the husband had had an old 401k from a previous employer he wasn't exactly sure what he should do with. So the steps to success. What we did with these folks, like many, is we shopped around with multiple A-rated carriers for insurance coverage to make sure that they had the best deal, the longest guarantees for the cheapest cost. Next, we got them in touch with our trusted attorney about their will. I'm not an attorney, but we have some very trusted attorneys that have been in the business for a long time. If you have questions about a will, that'd be a great place to start. We also compared their investment choices with his old 401k, and we learned that there were probably some better alternatives for some safer things going forward. The results. We actually were able to shop around and find the husband new life insurance. Was about $400 a year cheaper. So that allowed him to get a little bit more money every month he could put into his 401k, achieve the match with his new employer. The other thing is we did help them introduce them to a trusted attorney. They got a basic will in force, which really is a good thing and protected them and their family. And lastly, we had some great no-fee IRA options for his old 401k. We were able to add some guarantees to the plan, some income riders and things so that when they do get ready to retire, they'll be able to retire safely and securely with some money that they can depend on for the rest of their lives. Give us a call today for a complimentary review, and if your scenario gets picked for the show, you're going to receive a Right on the Money prize pack. But most of all, we want to help you. Coming up next, another opportunity for you to be a part of the show. Post it on our Facebook, tweet us, or email us your financial questions, and stick around for the viewer mail section.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
Welcome back to Right on the Money. I'm your host, Trey Winowitz, and it's time for you, the viewer, to be an integral part of this show, Viewer Mail. This is the part of the show where you send us your questions about anything financial. In order to get your questions to me, you can post them on our Facebook page, tweet your question to me at TreyWTV, or email them to me at advice@TreyWTV. If your question happens to get answered for the show, you'll receive a Right on the Money prize pack just for your willingness to help out our other viewers. This package has a retail value of over $50, so please don't stop sending us those questions. Our first viewer mail question today is, I'm looking into refinancing my mortgage and the rate the bank is quoting me is higher than rates I see on the internet. What should I do? Well, you know, like any other financial instrument you purchase, with a mortgage you want to make sure that you look at all your options before making a move. Most of the time, the rate is also dependent on credit and other factors. Since you'll probably have that mortgage for a long time, you don't want to make a bad decision. Now, without knowing a little bit more about the details of your situation, I can't really make a true recommendation, but traditionally you can get a more well-rounded opinion from an independent mortgage professional. And our next question is, I need a new car. A local car dealership is telling me I can lease a car for around $200 a month. This sounds like a great deal. Should I do it? Well, you know, I'd have to say first off, you might be better suited at looking at a less expensive car and just purchase it. That way you would actually own an asset. although a depreciating one. There are some situations that leases are appropriate, but most of the time they're in a business context where they'd have some tax deductions available. The positive things about a lease for you would be you'd probably end up with a newer car with very little maintenance problems, but you always want to look at your options completely and compare them before doing anything. Buying a car can turn into a very emotional decision, and if at all possible, you want to take steps to prevent that. The last question we have time for today is this: how much money can I put in an IRA? Well, like a lot of tax questions, it depends. It depends on the rules, your age, it also depends on your income. But assuming you can contribute, meaning you have earned income, if you're under 50 years old, you can put in $5,000. Over 50, you can put in $6,000. Then you want to look for a low cost or a no fee account that's protected and predictable. There are also some types of IRAs for people who are self-employed or small business owners, and these tend to let you put a little bit more money in. Give me a call at the office. I can show you some of the more popular ones that our clients use that have no fees or cost. We also have some CPAs that work with us during tax season, so just let me know if you need their help. Thanks a lot for that question. Stick around after this short break for Right on the Street. See what some local people just like you think about the stock market and other financial topics. You may actually see someone that you know.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
And we're back. This is Right on the Money, and I'm Trey Winowitz. See what some local people just like you think about the stock market and other financial topics. You may actually see someone that you know. When should someone start thinking about retirement?
Maybe when they turn like 75 or 60.
Okay.
Somewhere around in there.
What should someone be thinking about before they retire?
Well, I guess if they could get their home paid off, to get as much, to have as few monthly payments as they have to have.
As far as retirement, I heard that you retired recently.
Yes, I did.
What did you retire from?
From retail.
Okay, how long did you work in retail?
I was 5 years in retail.
Okay, and did you enjoy it?
No.
How much money does somebody need to retire?
For how many days? How old are they? Where do they live? You can live in a simple way. You could live in Knoxville. I wouldn't know. Out where we live, it takes a lot less.
Okay. As far as retirement, what are some of your fears about retirement?
Well, I guess my biggest thing is monetary.
Okay.
You know, I'm on Social Security, and I'm getting a decent amount. But with the way the prices keep going up, and the cost of gas and everything goes up, I'm just concerned that I'll be able to live a fun life. I want to have fun now. I'm out of the job. I'm free. I can do what I want when I want.
Right.
And I want to be able to do that. I don't want to have to sit at home because I don't have any money.
Typical age is 65, but then also with I guess where you are currently financially, do you have enough money saved up for typical expenses for the remainder of 20 years?
How much money does somebody need in order to retire?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
That's the tricky question.
All right. Do you have a retirement plan?
We do.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about your retirement plan? Or do you have a feature of it that you like?
No.
Okay. No?
I do not. No.
Okay.
That could be improved.
What's your least favorite thing about it?
The fact it's growth.
Okay. And when should someone, in your opinion, start seeking some advice concerning retirement planning?
Oh, the sooner the better.
I agree.
The earlier you start, the better off you'll be.
Well, this particular area that I was in was luxury items.
Okay.
Women's purses and leather goods. And we didn't suffer a whole hell of a lot.
Really?
I mean,
So people, economy's bad, people still buy a nice purchase?
Right.
I don't understand the concept of retirement because we're self-employed and we work on a different plane, but you know what? I think retirement's a mistake. I think what you should do is move on to doing something you enjoy and still try to make money from it.
What's the least favorite feature of your retirement plan right now?
That it takes so much time to manage it. It's like a full-time job.
Okay, what words of wisdom would you give for someone that's trying to plan for retirement?
Put some money back, try to plan ahead of time what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and know where you're going and where you want to be.
Hey, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And we're back. This is Right on the Money, and I'm Trey Winowitz. We're just getting ready to wrap up the show, but before we go, I'd like to tell you about an old Louisiana tradition called lagniappe. Lagniappe means to give someone a little something extra, and the way that we want to do that here at Right on the Money is to brighten your day at the end of our show. So with that, here's a little lagniappe for you. So if you're single out there, you may want to listen to this. A man recently found out that his elderly father would be passing away in a few years and leaving him a very large inheritance. He had been feeling lately that it's time to go find someone to settle down with, so he decides to use this new information to leverage the dating market. He goes out to the local hangout, looks around the room, and locks eyes with a stunning blonde. Probably out of his league, but he walks up to her anyway with a boost of confidence and says, "Hey, I may not look like much now, but in a few years my dad's going to pass away and I'm going to inherit millions. You want to go out to dinner sometime?" She was very interested and got his name and number. The problem is, a few weeks later, she became his stepmom. And that, my friends, is a little lagniappe for today. I want to personally thank you for watching our show today. I hope you found our show helpful as well as a little bit entertaining. If there's anything at all I can help you with financially, please don't hesitate to call our office. And remember, any plan that we come up with will always have three main goals for your money. Safety first, or protection of your principal, is always number one. Making a reasonable return on your money in what some would consider an unreasonable market. And number three, keeping your plans simple and easy to understand. If that sounds like something you want, I know I can help you. Also, please keep the financial questions coming. We'll do our best to get them answered on the show. I'll see you next week at 3 o'clock for more trusted advice that's right on the money.